everyone, welcome! You know, if you've ever felt like there's just one little thing that's holding your Italian back from sounding truly natural, well, it might just be this tiny, tiny mark.
The apostrophe. So let's dive in and see how getting this one thing right can totally change the rhythm and flow of your Italian. So what's its job, really? It's simple. Think of it like a little placeholder. It's there to show you where a letter, almost always a vowel, has been dropped. And this isn't just for looks. It's all about making the language sound smooth and elegant instead of kind of clunky. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll get the big idea behind the apostrophe. Then, we'll jump into the number one rule you're going to use every single day with articles. After that, we'll see what other words play by the same rules, tackle some really tricky cases, and then we'll wrap it all up with a checklist to make sure it all sticks. All right, so let's get right down to it. What's the fundamental reason this little mark even exists in Italian? It really all comes down to avoiding what you could call a vowel traffic jam. When you say la amica, you get this kind of awkward little pause, la amica. It just doesn't flow. So Italian does something brilliant. It drops that first vowel. The a and la just falls away, and the apostrophe jumps in to fill the gap. And what you get is a beautiful, smooth l'amica. That's it. That's the whole principle right there. Okay, so with that main idea in mind, let's talk about the number one place you're going to see this in action, with singular articles. Seriously, this is the bread and butter of the Italian apostrophe. And the rule here is actually super simple. And best of all, it's consistent. The singular articles lo, which is masculine, and la, feminine, always drop their vowel and become l before any word that starts with a vowel. So lo amico becomes l'amico. La americana becomes l'americana. Every single time, no exceptions. Easy, right? But now for the million-dollar question, the one that trips up pretty much everybody at some point. What about the article un, for a or an? Sometimes you see it with an apostrophe, sometimes you don't. So what's the deal? And here is the big reveal, the thing that catches so many people. The apostrophe only shows up for the feminine form. And here's why. Una is actually just the word una with the a dropped. The masculine article un already ends in a consonant, so it never changes. So you get una amica for a female friend, but just un amico for a male friend. Getting this right, it's a total game changer for sounding natural. And listen up, because this next one is just as crucial. This whole apostrophe party, it's for singular articles only. The plural articles, li and le, never, ever, ever use an apostrophe, not even if they're in front of a vowel. It is always le amiche, gli americani. Don't be tempted to fix it by adding one, because it's already perfect. All right, we've totally nailed articles, so now let's branch out a little bit and see how this exact same vowel dropping logic applies to a few other common situations. It's pretty cool, actually. You see this exact same pattern pop up all over the place, with prepositions plus articles like del olio smoothing out into dell'olio. With words like this and that, questo anno becomes the much nicer quest'anno, and you'll see it a ton with pronouns. Lo ho visto, I saw him, gets shortened to l'ho visto. It's the same idea, just different words. And yep, you guessed it, just like with articles, this is a singulars only kind of deal for pronouns too. So you have l'ho visto for I saw him, but if you're talking about I saw them, the plural pronoun li holds its ground. It li ho visti, no apostrophe. Same goes for the feminine le. The plurals are tough, they don't get shortened. Okay, now for a fun one where the rules get a little flexible. When it comes to the preposition di, which means of, you actually have a choice sometimes. You could say un po' d'aceto or un po' di aceto, a little bit of vinegar. And guess what? Both are totally correct. It's a style thing. But watch out for set phrases like d'inverno for in winter, where the apostrophe is pretty much required. Okay, you've made it through the main levels. Welcome to the boss level. These are the specific words and commands that can be a little confusing, but once you get them, you will sound so much more authentic. So check out these 4 little words. They're all commands: fa, va, sta, and da. See that apostrophe? It's there for a reason. It's showing that the final letter A has been chopped off from the full forms fa, va, sta, and da. That apostrophe is your signal that someone is telling you to do something. And this slide right here shows you exactly why this tiny little mark is so powerful.
With the apostrophe, fa il bravo is a direct command, be good. But take it away and il bambino fa il bravo is just a statement, a simple observation. The child is being good.
That little apostrophe completely flips the meaning from a command to a description. Okay, deep breaths, everyone. We've arrived at the final boss of Italian punctuation, the word da. You'll see it with an apostrophe, with an accent mark, and sometimes with nothing at all. How in the world are you supposed to keep them straight? But don't worry, we've got the ultimate cheat sheet right here. It's simple when you see it laid out. Da with an apostrophe as the command give. Da with an accent is the verb he or she gives. And da plain and simple with nothing at all is the preposition from or by. Just remember, apostrophe for a command, accent for a verb, nothing for a preposition. And before we move on, there's one more classic you absolutely have to know, un po, for a little bit. That apostrophe is not random. It has a backstory. It's there because the full word is poco. The whole ko ending gets cut off and the apostrophe steps in. And please, it's always an apostrophe, never, ever, ever an accent mark on the O. Whew, okay, that was a lot, I know. So let's wrap it all up with a super simple checklist of the key takeaways, the things you absolutely need to remember. But hey, before we get to that checklist, here's a really cool little bonus rule I think you'll like. When you talk about age, you say 10 anni for 10 years, but for all the other decades from 20 up to 90, the last vowel gets dropped before anni, so you get this really cool rhythmic sound. 20 anni for 20 years, 30 anni for 30, and so on. Pretty neat, right? All right, this is it, your golden rules. If you walk away with anything, make it these 5 points. 1, use the apostrophe with singular articles, la, lo, and una, before a vowel. 2, but watch out for the masculine un, it never gets one. 3, never use it with plural articles. 4, look for it in those short commands like fa and da. And 5, it's always un po. Got those? You're pretty much set. You see, in the end, the apostrophe isn't just some boring punctuation mark you have to memorize. It's really more like the secret rhythm of the language. It's what helps connect words together so that Italian can flow with that beautiful music that we all love. So now it's over to you. With all this new knowledge in your toolkit, what are you going to go out and say or write with total confidence? Maybe quest'anno vado in Italia. Or maybe you'll just confidently ask for un po' d'acqua. Go for it. The next step is all yours.